What is up? It is Miguel from Run With It, and you are here for another episode of the Art Can Change the World series. It's where we interview artists and those who work in the arts world to hear stories of how art can actually change the world. And I'm here today with Chad Bourquin. And Chad, why don't you tell us what you're up to in the arts world?
Sure. So I've got a couple things that I do. Number one is I am the guitar player and co-partner and songwriter for Big Time Grain Company, partnered with my brother.
I was hearing some of the upcoming tracks.
Yep.
Sound really good.
Yep. And then we've got a great band that we play with a few other guys in like Colin Ridge and a couple brothers, Max and Nick Pinochet, and then also Rains Wall plays with us as well. So things are great. We're looking for an awesome 2017. We've got more bookings for that year or for this year at this point than we've ever had. So pretty excited about that.
That sounds like a good year.
and then also I've had been in the booking side of things for quite a few years. I've done it at different levels, sometimes full-time, sometimes part-time. Right now, I would call it part-time, but it's a way for me to just stay involved in that side as well. It's easy for me just because I've done it for so long. Meet lots of great bands like Run With It.
I've heard they're okay.
Awesome. Yeah. So get to work with a lot of cool musicians and just meet people and yeah, so that's what I'm doing.
That's cool. And that was one thing I was excited. Just obviously getting together. We've known each other now for a while, and given us great information along the way that's helped us progress. But I love your perspective because you've worked both ends of the world, out front and behind the scenes.
Sure.
So I am interested to hear from you. Can you share maybe one or two stories of how art has impacted you or music has impacted you personally?
Yeah, for sure. So because I've been on both sides of this, I came at things from the backward side in the beginning days of how to really embrace the art. I was putting the promotion ahead of the art. And so art changed my life when I quit doing that and started saying, okay, the real gifts I was given here was to play guitar and play music and write songs. And when I started putting those things first and started focusing on just becoming the best at those things that I could become, it was really crazy because all the other stuff just kind of lined up behind it.
That's awesome.
And so the realization of really, there's a book called The One Thing out there, and the whole book talks about finding what is your one thing that you're really good at and devoting the most of your time to that. And then figure out how to cram the rest of everything into what's left over. Instead of what I'd do before, I would come down here first thing in the morning. It would be all about the business side. Mm-hmm. And I would put the art behind it. And by the time I got to the afternoon, my creative willpower had diminished to, maybe 10%. And now I was going to be creative with my art with that much left. And so when I flipped that, everything got more efficient. And so how art's changed me in a big way is when I would do it the wrong way, I'd get grumpy. And I never, I just think, oh, man, why do I have a bad attitude about this? I should be happy and all this. And then, but when I flipped it around the right side, I started realizing, man, my mood's better. Everything's getting better. It's because I was actually doing what I was supposed to be doing.
That's awesome, man.
And so my family got happier too. They were happy that.
It's funny. They're like, "You're happy," and
yeah,
we're a little happy.
It just spread throughout the whole house. So.
That's awesome. It's inspiring to hear. I'm in a similar progression right now where it felt like I was getting bombarded by all the business and how to take stock. As Gary Vaynerchuk, if you're familiar with him, that I was listening to is that idea of, okay, what is my strengths? Because, man, I'm hating life right now.
Yeah.
And kind of similar thing where my wife's like, you kind of pissy, what's going on?
Yeah.
But that's great to hear, man. It's I'm in that place, so it's an inspiring thing to hear.
Good.
Very much.
Yeah,
So.
cool.
That's cool. Now, would you mind sharing a story or two of where you've seen art impact somebody else?
Yeah, I think the ones that probably stand out the most, at least that we're personally connected with, are the ones that come to a show and something resonated with them. And there's one specific one where we didn't even realize what was going on at the time, but this girl, you could just tell a song connected with her. She got to the front of the stage and she was just lost in the moment. And she even reached up at one point, and Brett took her hand and sang part of the song to her. And what we found out after the fact was that was the song that her and her mom used to dance around the kitchen to before mom died of cancer, which was like pretty recent. I think it was, it's a little hard to even talk about. But I mean, it was probably, a year prior to that, if even that. And so watching what that did for that girl, it was an amazing moment. And just and then to realize that's just the one we got to hear about,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other people who wouldn't even share, but it was hitting them.
Exactly. And you know that happens. But it only happens, I believe, is if it's happening to us. Because if I'm sitting there or Brett's sitting there and we're focused on trying to play the right notes and just, all the things that are not about letting go and connecting with the music and connecting with the people, then they're not going to connect either.
Yeah.
And so that's been our big focus.
That's
I practice guitar more than I've ever, well, I shouldn't say ever. I'm practicing as much as I practiced when I was 17 years old in my bedroom, practicing 2 to 5 hours a day. And I'm doing that so I can get better, but I'm also doing that so that when I get into that point, that I'm not thinking about any of that stuff. I'm thinking about the notes going out and reaching down to their souls and changing them.
That's huge, man. Yeah, putting the hard work in so that you can finally let go. Yeah, that's amazing, man. So, well, thanks a lot. Why don't you tell all our folks where they can find you, find Big Time Grain Company, and all that.
Sure. Big Time Grain Company is the name of the band. You can, any of the social media, you could just put Big Time Grain Co. on the end. Or if you'd like to go to bigtimegrain.com website and sign up on our email, you can do that as well.
Awesome. Well, Chad, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's awesome, inspiring. And thank you guys for joining us. Once again, as Art Can Change the World, we had Chad with us from Big Time Grain Company, and you guys have a blast.